Hello everyone, Welchy here and welcome to Welchys Wednesday Weekly. This is the show where we will discuss the latest video game news, upcoming video game releases, and your thoughts and your answers to my question of the week. This week we'll be discussing the new details that have emerged from the Dead Space remake, and we'll be discussing what you think about cloud gaming. Before we do that and before we jump into the show, some little housekeeping to do. My Gears of War 3 co-op Let's Play with Scott has now started going up on the channel. 6 episodes are available for you to watch right now if you want to do so. It's a really good Let's Play actually, that one. And the final 2 episodes of that will be up later this week. I also uploaded my first Splitgate video yesterday where I discussed the challenges that the game is going to face with the likes of Halo and Battlefield coming out later this year, and what Splitgate needs to do to stay relevant with those coming out. And there'll be more Splitgate content coming very soon too. A reminder to follow us on Twitch. My Gears of War 4 playthrough with Scott is currently happening over there if you want to watch that live rather than later on YouTube. And if you enjoyed this week's Welchys Wednesday Weekly, please do be sure to leave it a like. Be sure to comment any feedback you have about the show, and of course your answer to the question of the week, and subscribe to the channel to see all of our uploads. Now let's go into the news. EA Motive have given us a very early look at development on the new Dead Space remake. There's a lot to talk about, and this is coming from Matt Kim from IGN. I'm reading his report directly. If you want to go over to IGN and read his report, please do so. I'm not going to read the whole thing. But the Dead Space remake was announced earlier this year. I did a live reactions to the trailer if you want to go back and watch that. It's a fully next-gen remake of the 2008 horror game built from the ground up in Frostbite. We learned that EA Motive will craft improvements where necessary while still being faithful to the original game. And in today's dev showcase, there was a lot that they showed off. First things first, developers showed off how the remake is shaping up visually. Motive was keen to remind audiences that this is an incredibly early look at the remake, but even with this early look, Dead Space Remake is shaping up to be a stunner. The environments are built on top of the layouts from the original game, but there will be more details in areas like texture, lighting, character models and such. During the stream, we saw a brief moment of the remake in action with a scene of Isaac walking through a hallway. Combat is also altered slightly. So the combat at its core involves dismembering aliens limb by limb or necromorphs, same as it was in the original. But this time they've added a new damage system called peeling, where you can literally shoot off the flesh of the necromorphs to reveal their bones and guts. Now, this sounds like an incredible addition. Hopefully it's as good as it sounds, but that sounds like something that's going to be extremely graphic, and it's gonna suit the environment in the game perfectly. I don't know if that's just an aesthetic thing though. I'm guessing you're still gonna have to actually remove the limbs to take down the necromorphs. I imagine rather than that being a combat mechanic, it's more just like a visual thing. But it's still something that's good. Like Isaac's spine light, peeling away an enemy's flesh is sort of like a health bar for them. I should have read on, shouldn't I? And Motive's combat system allows for some pretty gnarly visuals. You can peel a necromorph's leg to see their thigh bone, or their head to see their skull. Some weapons will be better for peeling, while others will dismember limbs outright. So yeah, sounds like they're trying to make it like a health bar. So I guess as you're peeling away the skin from the arm, then the next shot will take it off. So I think it's effectively probably how it used to work. It's just a visual health bar rather than guessing when the limb's going to fall off. Isaac's voice actor will also return for the remake. Now, in the original game, aside from grunting and screaming, Isaac was pretty silent in the first Dead Space. It wasn't until the sequel that Isaac found his voice with actor Gunnar Wright. For the remake, Wright will return and Isaac will have more voice lines, but don't expect him to be a chatterbox all of a sudden. Instead, voicing Isaac in the remake will follow Motive's rules of changing the original only where necessary. In this regard, Motive revealed the rules for Isaac's new dialogue. Isaac will only speak when spoken to, and he will sometimes speak in a situation where it would feel weird if he remained silent. Again, a good change. I actually liked that he was silent. You can kind of almost pretend that you was Isaac Clarke when it was like that, but I have no problem with him having a few more lines, and it sounds like he's not going to be too involved and talking too much, because that could take away from the fun of it. So it sounds like they know what they're doing with that. I think it sounds pretty good there. And moving on with the rest of the report, Motive was adamant that it will keep many of the same features of the original game, like the pacing, while improving areas that might be dated. Isaac's voice lines are a good example, but there will also be changes to specific gameplay elements. So from all that, it all sounds really positive in my opinion. Graphically, I knew it was going to be great. It's a next-gen game. It started on Xbox 360. We're now on Xbox Series X or PS5. That's a big jump. There's a lot of technology jump since then. I'm expecting it to look very good, and by the sounds of it, it's going to. Really interested in the peeling system, but as I said, I think that's going to be more of like a visual health bar, which should have been there in the first place, or could have. Like it's effectively the same. It just wasn't actually available back then. But I think that's going to, as I said, the visuals, that's something that they probably couldn't have done like back then, and I think it's going to really up the gore and up the aesthetic of the game. So I'm really looking forward to that. And the Isaac news that is talking a little bit more but not too much, very happy with that as well. All sounds very positive, and it's made me even more excited for this remake. I cannot wait for this remake. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you are excited about this remake, what this new news does for you. Has it made you more excited? Are you now a bit less excited? Did you not want Isaac to talk? Let us know down in the comments. Okay, moving on to upcoming game releases. Now I'm going to change this a bit. As I said, this show is going to be ever evolving. And what we're going to do from now on is I'm going to go through all of the releases that are coming out from today until the rest of the end of the week. Maybe from next week I'll do up to next Tuesday, so like Wednesday to Tuesday. That's something for next week. Most of the time games come out when Tuesday to Friday, so I guess I've only missed one day, but anyway. And then I'm going to highlight some games from this week and then some upcoming from next week. So similar, pretty much the same as normal, but just a few extra games that I'm just going to run through very quickly and not go into any detail at all. You'll see what we do. So anyway, upcoming game releases for the rest of the week. So we've got on Wednesday the 1st of September, we've got Lake, which is coming to Xbox and PC. Thursday the 2nd of September, we've got a few games. We've got El Shaddai, Ascension of the Metatron, coming to PC. We've also got Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous, coming Thursday the 2nd of September, PC. And WRC 10, which I know it's a racing game. I want to say World Rally Championships, might be wrong. But that's Thursday, 2nd of September on PlayStation, Xbox and PC. Friday, we've got Big Rumble Boxing, Creed Champions. Friday the 3rd of September, that is, on PS4, Xbox One, Switch and PC. Obviously that'll be backwards compatible for the newer consoles. And we've also got Golf Club Wasteland, Friday 3rd of September on PS4, Xbox One, Switch and PC. Now the games I want to highlight though, and one of them is from last week, and that's The Medium. The Medium is coming out to PS5 this week, having been an Xbox exclusive previously. Highlighting this one because obviously it wasn't exclusive to Xbox, timed exclusive for roughly 6 or 7 months, finally making its way to the PS5. This is an interesting one. I'm not picking this one up personally. I would rather play it on xCloud or even Xbox Games Pass if I ever get a Xbox Series X, because it's not something I want to pay for just that game. But it looks interesting. It's using the, not quite like Ratchet and Clank, but like the 2 different dimensions or 2 different like perspectives, but they're doing it in a split screen manner. Very interesting way of doing it. Not what I was expecting or hoping for the game. So, but for any horror fans out there, I'm sure you're excited for this one. Speaking of horror, next Tuesday, 7th of September, coming to PS4 and Xbox One, we have Chernobyl. Now this is a game that I've been keeping my eye on a little bit. I know it's been out on PC for a while. I don't know if that's just in beta or if it's fully released now. I watched a little bit. It looked okay, not exactly what I was hoping for. It actually looks more horror than I was expecting. I'm gonna wait for the reviews on this one, but it's definitely one I'm keeping my eye on. Definitely one I've been thinking about getting. I won't be picking it up next week, but I'm gonna keep an eye on it and see. But hopefully, from what you're watching on this trailer, it might be something that you think you will like. Sorry. Also coming out next week, Friday the 10th of September this time, is Life is Strange True Colors. Coming out to PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, Stadia and PC. Now I've included this one because I know Life is Strange is a hugely popular series. I haven't played them personally. They're games that I do want to play, but I haven't got around to playing them. I believe this time, and I don't really understand the other games, but this character's power is empathy. I'm really interested to see how they make that like a gameplay mechanic. I'm very interested in the reviews for this one. I can see this one either being like a 90 or like a 68, like a low, very 70 or below. I think it really depends how good this empathy mechanic is. Sorry if you can hear my guinea pigs arguing. They love to do it whenever I record videos. So yeah, that's Life is Strange True Colors coming Friday, 10th of September. Get them to shut up a minute. And also an extra bonus one, NBA 2K22 comes out next week, Friday, 10th of September. PlayStation, Xbox and PC. Should be coming out on Switch. I didn't really realise that until now, why that's not coming out on Switch. Maybe it's coming out on Switch later. Interesting that that's not coming to Switch next week. Yeah, NBA 2K22, this year's installment. I know a lot of people are going to be getting it. I'm not getting it because I haven't been buying the NBA games in years, to be honest. Just because I don't have the time to put into them like I used to. But I do tend to play them. They tend to come to Game Pass every year, and I tend to play them when they come to Game Pass. But I know this is going to be one that many of you will want, so I thought I'd highlight it out there. So yeah, that's it for this upcoming releases. And let's move on to question of the week. Okay, so my question of the week for you guys is, what are your thoughts on cloud gaming? Do you or will you use it, and why? So when I talk about cloud gaming, I'm talking about Google Stadia, Amazon Luna, if you're out in the States. I'm hoping that's going to come to the UK at some point. Obviously xCloud, so the Xbox Game Pass service, xCloud. They're the three that I can think of off the top of my head right now. But you can also include stuff like Remote Play, so PlayStation Remote Play. Even though that's not cloud gaming, I'm going to include that because basically it's playing on your phone or a tablet or some sort of device rather than a big TV or monitor. What are your thoughts on cloud gaming? Do you use it or will you use it, and why? So my answer, I use it. I use xCloud mainly. Mainly when my girlfriend is watching something on TV that I'm not interested in or not watching myself. And I've also used it when staying away, like staying at my parents or wherever. I actually think it's a very good service. It's not ready to take over yet. So for example, I was using xCloud the other day. When I'm using it in my own house, it's not even perfect. Sat right next to the router, right next to the Wi-Fi, on my phone or my iPad, with a controller, Bluetooth controller. It works well, just not perfect. There's a little bit of input lag, input delay. So with games where it's quite twitchy, where you need very fast reactions, it can be difficult. Gears of War 5 is on xCloud. I've played it on my phone and the iPad, and it's good when I'm playing Horde mode, but even then it's not perfect because you still need lightning quick reactions at times. I would not even try it online because you would just get absolutely dominated at the moment. And I think I've got pretty good internet, so I don't think it's anything to do with my internet. I think it's just xCloud isn't quite ready yet. I think they need to do a bit more work on it, and I think internet needs to improve generally. I know that there are much faster speeds in other places in the world, which maybe it works really well there, but at the moment in the UK, I don't think it's the best service. Or saying that though, I did try out Google Stadia for the 1 month free trial they had, and that worked a lot better than xCloud. Admittedly, Google and Stadia have put all their resources into cloud gaming. They haven't got a console, it's just the cloud. And they seem to have got it pretty nailed there. I played Destiny 2 on there. Guinea pigs are going at it again. They're really going at it today. What are they at? Come on. Yeah, Destiny 2 worked really well on there, sorry about that. And I've tried a few of the other games on there. It seemed a lot more responsive and a lot better. Admittedly, that was on a laptop, but I think it would still work the same on an iPad or an iPhone. So I am using it. I do use it probably at least once a week, and I think it is the future. I think it will be the future, and I think it's more for times, like I say, when someone's using the TV and you want to just play games for a little bit on a second screen, second device. It works really well for that. Same with remote play on PlayStation. I've done that as well quite a lot. That actually works a bit better, but I think that's because it's using the PlayStation power. It's still over the internet, but it works quite well, especially if you're very close to it. I've used it from left my PlayStation 5 in rest mode, gone to a different house and used it, and it still works quite well. Not as well, but still works well enough. But yeah, I think that's what it's going to be useful for, is when someone's using the TV and you're playing. So this works very well on Xbox. If you're playing a game on Xbox, someone wants to use a TV, something's coming on, and you're like, okay, turn the Xbox off, onto the cloud, and you just pick up where you left from. That's where it's going to be very useful. And yeah, I think it's great. I don't think it's quite perfect yet, and I wouldn't ever rely on it as such or use it as my main system, but it's definitely going to be big in the future as long as they keep investing in it, and I think they will, because it's going to be great. It really is. If they can nail it, it's going to be great. But let me know, guys, what you think about cloud gaming. If you've used it, what do you think about it? Do you use it regularly? Do you not use it regularly? Or if you haven't used it, why don't you use it? Is it because of the internet, like I say, or is it just because you don't need to? I'm really interested in all your comments, so please do let me know, and we'll discuss them in next week's video. Okay, that's it for this week's Welchys Wednesday Weekly. Thank you so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do leave a like. It helps us out massively. Also, leave a comment. Let me know any feedback you can give me for the show, anything I can do to the format or anything like that, and obviously reply to the question of the week. And subscribe if you want to see more of Welchys Wednesday Weekly or any of our other videos. As I said, Splitgate video up on the channel now. More Splitgate to come, and obviously the Gears of War 3 Let's Play will be finished this week as well. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you next time.